Well, good morning, everybody. In our readings this weekend, we have two very different images of the church. Two very different ways in which those followers of Jesus lived their lives. The first one is at the beginning of our gospel this morning. There on Easter Sunday evening, the church is gathered together. They're huddled up. And they're hiding behind a locked door. And can you blame them after everything they've seen, after everything they've witnessed in the previous 3 days? That it wouldn't be good for them to be out there among the people lest they get caught for being a follower of Jesus, and so they hide away. A church that's locked up and in hiding. But we get a very different image of the church in our first reading today. And that's of a church that's out on the streets, healing people. It's the same exact people in our gospel, but now they're doing something completely different. Their life has been completely changed. And what makes for the difference? What takes this group of people that is scared and hiding and pushes them out to bring the message of Jesus to anyone that they encounter? The Spirit of God. That they have received through this powerful encounter with Jesus and His Spirit a newness of life. Because into that hiding church, into that locked room, who shows up? Jesus comes. And He comes to this group of people that are full of shame, and He brings them mercy. This group of people that is scared, He brings peace. This group of people that is uncertain, He brings consolation. Jesus wants to fill up them with His own resurrected life. He wants to be their fuel. He wants to be their source of life. And so He does this very mysterious thing to us. He breathes on them. Breathes on them. This, taken in a part of the entire story of the Bible, makes sense. At the very first page of the Bible, we hear that God, when He formed us, when He created humans, He took the dirt and the clay of the ground and He breathed His Spirit into us and we became living beings. That God's Spirit resides in us. That Spirit, though, that life in us that so often as we walk through life becomes tattered and broken through sin and woundedness. But then Jesus comes. He takes on a life like ours. He redeems a life like ours. And after the resurrection, He comes to His church and He breathes on them once again to give them a share in His own life, that they might begin to live in a completely new sort of way. That they might not just be running on their own steam anymore, but rather on the steam of the Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. And this vivifies them. This restores them. This heals them. And this sends them out into the world to begin breathing life into all of the lifeless places, the lifeless people they encounter. That's the difference. An encounter with the person of Jesus. Treating Jesus not as an idea, but as a person we can have a relationship with. Treating the Spirit of God not as something up there, but something that right now in my life wants to take hold on me. Something right now in my life that wants to have a hold on me and then send me out. Friends, every Sunday we gather again as a church, as did those in our gospel this morning. And every Sunday we are seeking to receive life from God, to be renewed in all of those places in our own lives, in which we too stand in need of peace those places in our own lives in which we stand in need of mercy. And both through the Word and through the Eucharist, we are filled up with the very life of God in us. But then we too are called out. We're called out, having received life from God, to breathe life into our world. That those we come into contact with this week need that which we have received. They need what we have. Right before I moved here to Iowa City and I was still in Davenport, I had a little window of a time on a Saturday afternoon before the 4:30 Mass. So I decided to take my bike out for a ride. I got about 15 miles away from the church when I blew a tire. And so I had two hours to try and walk 15 miles. I didn't have my phone on me or anything, and so I just, start walking back. And as I'm walking back, there are people passing me left and right, and I'm looking at them, thinking, hey, I know you have a phone that I can use. Hey, I know you probably have maybe an inner tube on your bike that I can fix my own. And they're passing me, and no one's stopping, and I'm not blessing them, I'm cursing them. But one person after the next, they just passed me by, even though I know they have what I need. Until finally a guy passes me 3 seconds later, he calls back to me, hey, do you need help? Yeah, I need help. Comes back, and sure enough, he has an inner tube and a pump on his bike, and I get fixed up and I'm on my way. But what's the moral of that story? People had what I needed, but no one was willing to stop to give it to me. There are so many people out there that need what we have from this place. So many people out there who need the Spirit that is ours, who need to be restored in life, who need the peace of Christ. How willing are you to give it to them? How willing are you to share that with them? How willing are you to encounter them? Just yesterday, we had those great images of Pope Francis's funeral over in the Vatican in St. Peter's Square. And if you saw any of the video or the pictures from the Mass, St. Peter's Square was jam-packed of 250,000 people. And that colonnade that comes out from the basilica kind of reaches out to the city of Rome like arms, gathering people in. Then all of those people once gathered, then they are sent out. They're sent out on mission to share that which they have received. Each one of us here is called to do the same. At the end of Mass, you will be told to go. To go, not just to leave and get out of here, but to go and take that which you have in life in Christ and share it with another person. And what a great gift it is that we here at St. Mary's, where we're at, downtown Iowa City, where we're at here close to the campus of the university, the number of people we can encounter, the number of people we can share the life of Christ with, the gift of the Spirit. Who's someone this week that you can seek to share that with? And so share the life of Christ.